Hey all, Engineer Sex here. Welcome to the first video in the week of sex. I know that sounds pretty cool, but unfortunately, it doesn't involve real sex. I'm sorry. I know. Sue me if you want. I don't care. It's not my problem. But yeah, basically instead, we're going to be doing 7 days of uploads from 23rd of June to the 30th. Varying content, not sure quite exactly what, but I'll definitely say probably gameplay videos, something, to teach you something, I don't know. Definitely not another tier list though. I really just want to do one of these. I'll probably do the all classes one later on. I was originally going to do that instead, but there's 200 weapons in the game, so I'm not feeling that right now. We'll do that another time. So yeah, for now we're just gonna stick to my main man, as he's who I know best. So yeah, first up we have Eureka Effect. It's gonna be A tier for me. Most interesting wrench, most fun wrench I'd say. I have a lot of fun with it at least. Obviously you can't get your buildings up as quickly, but you also have the ability to get out of there way quicker, which I'd say is a very fair trade-off, and also the fact that you're able to get your team there quicker because you can teleport them way quicker, considering, it's way less to upgrade, it's way less to build, so it's overall a very good supportive wrench for yourself and your team. Main thing I'd say about this is, if you're really getting steamrolled and you're not running the Rescue Ranger, it's definitely going to show its flaws, but in general, if you have time to set up, obviously account for the fact that you can't get your buildings up as quickly, then it can be basically a straight upgrade to the wrench. Just the utility is so powerful, being able to get anywhere at any time, assuming you've been there before, if set a teleporter down, whether it's active or not, is very powerful. So yeah, I think that's all to really say about this for now. It's my favorite wrench. Not the best wrench, but I definitely would say second best wrench. It's probably not going to be a big surprise what's first, but I'm still going to make you wait. So next up we have the Frontier Justice. I'd probably slap that definitely in front of the Eureka Effect, just for the fact that it's almost the most game-changing shotgun, I'd say. Almost. That answer is also probably not surprising, but you're still going to wait for it. Frontier Justice is definitely, I'd say, a little bit favors the defensive style, or at least you'll see more success in a defensive style, assuming you're holding real hard and you're doing good, obviously keeping your distance. It's extremely useful, because, I'd definitely say with the Eureka Effect too, knowing when to back out is way easier when you have the ability to teleport. And not only that, but when you teleport, you also get loaded with however many crits you just gained up by leaving your sentry alone. So it works very well with the Eureka Effect. It's definitely my favorite wrench to use with it when I just want to play, a tiny bit more defensively, or I just don't want to use the Rescue Ranger right now. I love the Rescue Ranger. It's a great weapon, but, sometimes I just want to shoot people. It's just a lot of fun. Obviously, you have the downside of, 3 less in that clip, which, when it's crit boosted, doesn't really make a difference, because you just fucking shred people. I'd definitely say it hurts Uber a little bit, but I feel like you're pretty close to a demo man in the fact that you can do a lot of damage when you have a crit boosted Frontier Justice, but you only got 3 shots. So if you're getting Ubered, for example, you got to make sure your shots count. Because, sometimes you don't always have time to reload, and, you can usually get me 2 more shots in there, assuming you're just firing as quickly as possible. Because when you're Ubered, you're not concerned about letting your entire clip go, or reload, because that takes a minute usually. But it's a great shotgun. Definitely, I'd say it's pretty interchangeable with another one, but definitely, most certainly, second or third best shotgun in the game. Definitely even better than its stock counterpart, I'd say, in most situations. Stock has its consistency, but when it comes to just doing engineer things, the Frontier Justice is excellent. I think that's all there really is to say about that, so we're going to move on to the Gunslinger. Gunslinger is going to be an easy S tier for me. Probably different reasonings than, you know, these other weapons, but, I mean, it gives him an entire new playstyle. That is good. Makes him much more like a frontliner, so you can, you know, be a lot more offensive. Have a lot more fun with it, I'd say, assuming you don't like the defensive playstyle, which I found a couple people that don't, or just play too offensively with leveled sentries, and, you know, it's usually a hellfire, or it's not great. You know, obviously, if that's how you have fun playing class, go for it, but, you know, I just say go with the Gunslinger, dude. It's a lot of fun, gives you more health. You can use your triple hit on heavies sometimes. It's a lot of fun. It's yeah, it's probably second to the Eureka Effect for me for just how much fun it is. I really like the, you know, the whole teleportation thing. It's a lot of fun. I like being able to get places and go get me that full 200 medal. It's very nice. But it really deserves to be here, as there's nothing else like it, and it's also really good. I mean, obviously pushing, and I'd say control points too. It's very good because it kind of minimizes the downside of Engineer needing to set up, since he's a defense class, which in game modes like control points, it's a lot harder for him because you're moving so much. Obviously, you can't. It's hard to move up everything when everyone's moving so quickly. So, you know, it tends to, you know, I'd really like to see this more on like some other classes that have some relatively static playstyles, mostly just probably Spy. You know, I think Spy could really use a weapon kind of like the Gunslinger that just, you know, made it so he could, you know, spice it up a little bit more. And I'm very blessed that Engineer got a good one. Because, you know, obviously you have Dow Knight, but, you know, I definitely say this is a more viable playstyle without, you know, completely throwing your class out the window. You still can heal people, you can still teleport people, and, you know, you're a little bit tankier. It's a very fun and good trade-off. It just really can't go wrong with it. Obviously, you can't get random crits, which, to be fair, on casual, with every wrench, besides the Southern Hospitality, for some reason, you know, it's stupid. You can just run at people and just fucking do a solid 195. But, you know, triple hit, I guess, is fair enough trade-off. I don't know. That's all there really is to say about that for now. We're going to move on to the Jag. Definitely another S tier. By far the best wrench. That's without a doubt for me. It's really good, and you can get your buildings up really fast. The downsides are minimal, because it hits so fast, really. I mean, yeah, I believe there's a construction speed one, but you literally have hit speed, so, you know, it doesn't make much sense, but it's really good. The downsides look much more punishing, but the upsides are huge, and it is, without a doubt, the best wrench right now. Personally, I think it should definitely get nerfed a little bit. I'd love to see, but I'd also like to see, you know, any other nerfs on, not nerfs, buffs on other wrenches. I'd much rather see, you know, maybe see more viability in, like, you know, I don't know, the fucking Southern Hospitality, rather than, you know, nerfing that. But at the same time, stock wrench is a baseline, and they're not going to change the stock wrench, most likely. They don't do balance changes like that anymore, at least. And I don't think it really does. I think the stock wrench is a good baseline. It's still a solid wrench, but yeah, this wrench is just better in 90% of all circumstances. And I guess not MVM. MVM, I'd say it's definitely overshined by everything but the Southern Hospitality, I'd say. Not having random crits is really bad on it. Because, you know, if Spy walks up to you, you can just random crit him and kill him instantly. Yeah, obviously, you can do that with the Jag too, but, you know, I'd value getting sappers off, because that can be a pain in the ass sometimes, where there's hordes of spies around you, and you still gotta hit them with that triple hit, and you just can't do it, and then you die. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I think that's all there really is to say about the Jag. By far best wrench. No cap. Next up, we got the Panic Attack, which is we'll put it here. I think right behind the Eureka Effect for now. We might change the order. In my opinion, best, well, not really best over anything else, but it's probably better than the stock shotgun in a lot of circumstances now. Mostly just because casual with random bullet spread, it just feels nicer to use. Even if you have that, you know, that slight range difference. My thing is at that distance, I'm just gonna pull out a pistol or my short circuit, spam some balls at him. I don't know. Haha, balls. I don't know. I just feel like it's a better shotgun at the moment. It does a lot of damage, almost as much as a ramped up scatter gun, which is a lot. I don't know. I feel like it's really good. I know some people might not like that I put the shotgun behind it, and I know I probably should have hid that, but I just feel like it is right now. Obviously, if they turn off random bullet spread in like the entire game, please, then shotgun would easily be better, I'd say. Just for the fact that, you know, you could at least aim with the shotgun, and obviously you can know which shots are gonna land, and that range, you know, sort of actually makes sense when the bullets go where you want it to go, which, fun fact, they don't. It's really funny. It's a cool feature. Fuck random bullet spread. Next up, we got the pistol. Pistol is good. Great baseline, but if you can already tell by the shotguns, or some of the shotguns, never mind, I guess 2 of the shotguns, but barely this one. You know, utility is very important with the engineer, and that applies to his secondaries too. Most people would just value having, well, either like the most fucking busted weapon in the game, or shutting down soldiers and devilmen over, you know, glorified, not perfect accuracy mini sentry that has 200 ammo in its reserve. You know, it's fun. I like it. It's great for picking off targets from far away. But really, if I want to play offensively, I would much rather use the short circuit over the pistol. Because I just, you know, I'd much rather just value being able to, you know, either live to fight a demo man or a soldier, or just do damage to any class. Because the balls, I mean, they're not great, but if you use all your metal on it, you can do a decent amount of damage and finish them off in one, not even, ignore that voice crack. You can finish them off with, you know, one solid shot. You don't need to land every pellet, but, you know, once you've already hit them, assuming they're not going backwards, it's probably about 45 damage. You know, that's not too bad. Assuming that's a light class, you know, you could probably finish them off in one more shot, which a lot of people don't seem to appreciate much, which I get, but, you know, it trades off the consistent fire of a pistol with a very big hitbox and a fucking flash grenade, basically. You can't even fucking see. You can't see anything when you shoot at it. Well, at the same time, it is the engineer too. He can't really see either, but it's still stupid. They should definitely change the visibility of it. But I don't think this weapon is broken. It's just, you know, you're trading one thing off for the other, and it's a great side grade. Definitely situationally better for the fact that, you know, this thing literally can't save your sentry gun, this thing could situationally save your sentry gun, and this thing can always save your sentry gun. So, you know, there's definitely a hierarchy, I'd say, in the secondaries, which, fuck the Wrangler. Next up we have the Pomson. So that's gonna be the only thing in D tier, and we're just gonna put it in the doo-doo tier. It's exclusive to the Pomson, because fuck the Pomson. It's god-awful. Has 4 shots, which does not even say it has 4 shots. So really it should say, you know, that it is missing like a third of its clip, which is pretty important considering, you know, you look at, let's say, Scout, and literally all of his scatter guns besides stock have 4, and in return, none of them are viable. Not only does this thing have 4 shots and is unviable, but it's awful. It's literally, it's worse offensively than the Rescue Ranger by like a long shot. And the only upside about it is that it removes cloak, which also keep in mind is based off distance. So you're never going to get that full 10% of Uber or cloak. It's atrocious. It shoots slower than the Rescue Ranger too, so it's even harder to hit. It's also like almost the slowest projectile in the game, which is stupid. I hate this weapon. It also, I mean, holy shit, look at it next to any other weapon in the Engineer's arsenal. Even the Eureka Effect. It looks like a fucking, it looks awful. I hate it. Yeah, I really dislike this weapon, as do probably everybody. It's, in my opinion, by far the worst weapon in the game. You know, you got bad weapons, don't get me wrong, and you got the Volcano Fragment, but at least the Volcano Fragment does what it says it does. The Eureka Effect, you know, that's, at least doesn't look like a fucking spaceship, you know, it does everything wrong, and I despise it for that. Speaking of doing things wrong, the Rescue Ranger does literally nothing wrong, and is really, really good. Even after the whole metal thing, where it's like, hey, you gotta use 10 metal. Because it doesn't fucking matter. You still just shoot it. It's still way less than hitting it with a wrench. The Rescue Ranger is so good. It's by far the best primary. I like shotguns because they're just fun. You know, I like being able to defend myself and defend myself. Fuck. Defend myself. A little bit over the Rescue Ranger, but it's undoubtedly the best because it's so good. In combination with like getting your sentry up super quickly, then making it invincible, and then healing it. Yeah, you can definitely start to see where, you know, it's sort of a medic situation. You know, if you really just want to play the game really well, you know, you got the weapons to use, and you should use them to have the most success. Which is why, mostly I'd say the Wrangler. I mean, Jag needs a nerf, I'd say. Rescue Ranger, I think, is fine now. Honestly, I'd say even maybe 15 metal might be reasonable, but I don't know. I'm no fucking scientist. But no matter what they do to it, it's probably going to be fucking busted still. I highly doubt the Rescue Ranger will ever reach a point where it would be out of S tier. It's just so good. The concept of it is amazing, and it's a really fun weapon. That's really all there is to say. Obviously, no, I forgot about teleporting buildings. You can do that too. 100 metal, you can get any area buildings. That is assuming you can see them in your sight line, which a lot of maps aren't too hard. Maps like, let's say, Badwater. There's a lot of hills and stuff, but assuming you're where an engineer would be, which is probably the top of any hill or some sorts, because, you know, you want to cover as much ground as possible. You know, it's usually very useful. If you get pushed too hard, you can always... I usually do it a little risky in sentry jump, but, you know, you can get out of there, and then just as soon as they push in on your buildings, or they're about to break, you can just yoink it and run away. And there's nothing they can do about it. Nobody fucking pays attention. I mean, if they did, then, you know, realistically a scout could just run up to you and fucking murder you with a single shot, since, you know, you get marked for death while holding buildings. But, like, come on, that's barely a downside. If you're gonna teleport away, it doesn't really matter if you take mini crits. You're gonna be extremely far away. Just make sure you're around your team while you're doing it. Don't do that, or you're gonna die, or you're gonna lose your buildings, and it's not a fun time. Just be careful with it. And obviously put into consideration the fact, you know, it is 100 metal. Think about what you can do with that, assuming you make stupid use out of it, or you just die, you know. Sometimes it's not even the right choice to save your buildings and just to run. You know, it's pretty important. Keep in mind you also got the hauling speed, which is a little bit slower, but not too much. You're like demo man speed while holding it. But yeah, that's all it really is to say. It's good. Not quite good, but this Southern Hospitality. Sorry, I forgot the name for a minute. If that doesn't already say something about it, it's not great. It exists. Nobody uses it. It's got a minimal downside, but a really unfun downside, I'd say. Just being shredded by fire, just by touching it. It's really unfun. It makes Afterburn even better, which is, I hate it. But, you know, I don't know, just as an aggressive engineer myself, I use it just because, you know, I have a strange professional kill streak. Well, that's about it. But, you really shouldn't use it. It's atrocious. it's not like exactly bad, but why would you use it over literally anything else? It doesn't have random crits too, which is the stupidest thing. That would instantly make it a bit more viable, just cause like, you know, it's... Why would you use it? You could just use this wrench and fucking instantly kill him like a shit ton of classes. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. It contradicts itself. You know, obviously, like, a crit with bleed might be a little stinky, but like, it still wouldn't be better than a wrench. You still can't. Why would you be getting close to people when you take like so much damage from fire? You never know when a pyro is gonna walk around the corner and fucking burn you to a crisp. So it's just a boring weapon. I'd love to see something else. I saw the balance patch people, or balance mod I think it was, that had the proposed upside of like dispenser range, which does not fit the style of the weapon, but like at least it gives it a use. I'd love to see them do something with it, but you know, with the style of it, it's kind of hard to really think of anything else besides, you know, the fact it makes you fucking bleed because it's sharp everywhere. I don't know. It's in a sad place right now. But I mean, hey, at least it's not the Pomson. That's good. That's all there really is to say. It's a very unnotable weapon. Next up, we got the stock shotgun. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna put this right behind the panic attack, just because random bullet spread. I promise you that is probably the only reason why. Obviously, you do a little bit more damage when you're up close, which is useful. And I still say, even over this, if they, let's say, not that they would, removed random bullet spread, I still probably would prefer it just for the switch speed, because, I mean, it's basically a stock shotgun, but it does a little bit more damage at close range. Comes out way quicker, so, you know, you can spam with the pistol a bit more and still, you know, get that consistent firing out there. It's just a great weapon. I love it. It's a lot of fun. Personally, I don't use it much, but that's just because variants of it, or kill streak variants, are expensive now, because Uncle Dane made a video on it. So yeah, I'd say it's probably better, just the consistency. Like, if this gun actually fired, and like fired where you pointed at it, like, that would be cool. That'd be pretty nice, but sadly it really doesn't most of the time. It's a little stinky. It's not a bad gun. I mean, it's still extremely useful even in casual, but god would I rather take the fixed spread. It's like the only weapon in no, it is the only weapon in the entirety of the game that just has that stat in casual, and that's a very slept on upside for a very long time. But I won't deny, I even if it was like before Jungle Inferno, it would have been like fucking here. It's, well, for other classes it would have. Engineer probably, like, I'd still say B tier. It was a lot of fun on NG. I liked it. Wasn't as good, I'd say. It's more consistent now. Was never as good as the shotgun for sure when it was pre-patch, but you know, it was a lot of fun when you could just load up a clip and do 4 fat shots on someone. It was a lot of fun, but you know, you win some, you lose some. So I'm gonna keep her here, keep shotgun here. Next up, which is you know, probably gonna have some people confused, but you know, personally, I find, yeah, we're gonna put it right in front of the Frontier Justice, just for the fact that, you know, it doesn't have the switch speed of the panic attack, but it has the same firepower as the shotgun. Without random bullet spread, obviously it's the same stats as a shotgun, exact same, except that, you know, you don't have ammo, you have metal, 30 per shot, assuming, depending on how many bullets you land. But really, I guess this is sort of a sniper sort of thing as well, but if you can actually aim, it's literally a direct upgrade. You can get your metal supply back, even if you have, let's say, the bare minimum. Let's say you have 31 metal. Like, you can do one shot, but if you make that one shot count, and you can land it, and you're confident about it, which sometimes that can be a bad thing, against, like, you know. But at the same time, keep in mind, like, demo men, for example, it doesn't hurt to get up close. Obviously, you can take damage, but they're going to take damage too. and by the time they take damage and you're shooting them, once you have more than 30 metal, which is basically one shot or two, you know, you can just keep firing. It's extremely useful. It makes engineer really good. Definitely the best weapon if the rare instance that, you know, let's say you get crits or ubered. I'd say Frontier Justice might, for ubering, you know, it's probably a little bit above it. But, you know, if you don't have crits, it, you know, I'd say it's interchangeable, really. But if you have a lot of crits, obviously, you know, it's a little ridiculous. You can do a lot. But, you know, you can just keep going with the Widowmaker. It's so much fun. It's got a cool weapon design. Obviously, it goes against TF2's art style a little bit. But, you know, it's a sick weapon. It's a lot of fun. And I'm very glad it's in the game. And it's probably my favorite shotgun at the moment. But, you know, Frontier Justice and Widowmaker, super interchangeable. They're both extremely good. Both probably almost S tier, just, you know. I actually originally had Widowmaker up here, but I thought about it a bit more, and just, it's not the Rescue Ranger. Rescue Ranger really does deserve its own tier for shotguns. It's just, well, barely a shotgun, but technically a shotgun. It's just good. It's really, really good. And now the best part, the best weapon in the entire engineer arsenal by quite literally a long shot. It is the Wrangler. And for a matter of fact, even add the Wrangler tier. Wrangle. Sure, we'll keep that space there. Good. There we go. It's the Wrangler tier. We'll give it a funny color. I don't know. What are we thinking? Pink. Sure. Wrangler. Yeah, the Wrangler is... I mean... would you rather shoot at someone with your sentry gun and do it like 2 times damage, or would you rather do like fucking spit at them with some pistol shots? It's no question. This is just so much better. I guess if you don't have a sentry, it's worse. But just when you're in advantage with this weapon, for example, it's just substantially better than any other secondary in the game. If you have a level 3 up and you're actively holding, especially with a Rescue Ranger, for example, or any other wrench really, but I'd say probably still Jag just so you can get it up. Like, whew, it's a lot. If you have like people standing by, keeping watch, and actually, you know, trying to help you out a little bit, and you're coordinated and you're using the Wrangler, it's so hard to do anything against it. I mean, flying demo men, or fucking if they fly with a sticky jumper or some shit, or anything, like, you know, you can just fucking, it's like Duck Hunt, bro. You can aim up there and you can just gun them out of the sky. It's a lot of fun. Definitely the best weapon. Probably one of the best weapons in the game, honestly. It's super busted, and it shouldn't be the way it is by any mean. And for that fact, I don't use it too much. I use it, but, you know, I like to try to use short circuit or pistol more. Oh shit, wait. Oh, fuck, I'm an idiot. Sorry, I talked about how the short circuit was better. It should at least be an A tier for me. Speaking of, well, it's okay. We have another weapon to replace its spot. Definitely a little bit better than that. The wrench is good, but yeah, like I said, only wrench worse than it is the Southern Hospitality, and it's basically no question for me that the Eureka Effect is just overall better than the normal wrench. The wrench is just basic, but if you want a basic wrench, just use the Jag. It's it's so good. Like, obviously I like to encourage, you know, using different weapons. That's saying something, considering I have a couple kills on my Southern Hospitality now. I've used it quite a bit, believe it or not. But, you know, just play with what makes you happy. Whatever you're having fun with. That's really all that matters. I try to use as much of these weapons as possible. Except this one. This one, you should just literally never use it. Sorry, I can't type. It's just, don't use this. I promise you, you're not gonna have a good time with it. I mean, if you really wanna, if you have some friends maybe and wanna run around, that'd probably be pretty funny. But just don't put yourself through that hell. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Let me look through, see if there's any changes I want to make real quick. Yeah, I think that's good. I kind of think I could change these two as well, but yeah, we'll just keep it there. That building those buildings so quickly is so useful. So yeah, that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the first video, and I will see you guys tomorrow with whatever the fuck I decide to make.